Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Kopp, and we continue our look at Temple University's response to the COVID-19 epidemic as we talk to some of our Temple athletic staff, coaches, and student athletes. And today, I'm pleased to be joined by our Assistant Athletic Director for Olympic Sports Performance, Tim Teefy. Tim, thanks for taking some time to chat with us.
No problem. Pleasure to be here.
So, we have over 500 student athletes here at Temple. In your role being in charge of Olympic sport performance, can you give us a sense, obviously under normal circumstances, when everyone is in one place together and all on campus, how many student athletes are you seeing, or are you responsible for and interacting with on a daily or weekly basis?
Sure. We have 400 student athletes that come through our weight room specifically. So, in my role, I oversee all of those student athletes and the implementation of their training for all those student athletes. So within the week period, it just depends upon their schedule, but we'll have all those athletes hurl through in our week's time.
So needless to say, when we're talking about being in the weight room, when we're talking about strength and conditioning, obviously this is an area that really requires person-to-person evaluation, contact, all of that stuff. So I guess the big question is, with all of this going on, with no one on campus, obviously, how are you able to continue your function here remotely?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a big challenge for us, but it's been pretty interesting for us as a group. My staff has been amazing during this time. We've kind of settled into a groove here. We've been putting out workouts, whether it's the opportunity to get into a weight room for some of those individuals, or if they have equipment at home, or most of our athletes, are working off of some sort of probably body weight workouts. So attacking them with those workouts, as well as providing different options for our conditioning. So right now we're putting out Monday, Wednesday, Friday workouts for them, whether it is the weighted workouts or body weight workouts, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we're putting out either if you have the opportunity to get outside and can do some conditioning outside, great. If not, we have an indoor conditioning. If you don't have much space, so we're just trying to provide as many opportunities for our athletes to be able to get in the work that they need to do at this time.
So how much extra effort is that for you and for your staff on the front end? Obviously, let's say I'm a fall sports student athlete. I'm out of season right now in the spring, so I'm coming into your weight room 2 or 3 times a week, and now trying to assess what I've got at home, how much space I have at home, what my situation is here. I mean, what is the work on the front end that requires of you to make sure, obviously, you're trying to achieve certain ends and get them in the shape that they need to be for the season. So how are you able to replicate that without access to, obviously, the wonderful equipment that Temple has in their weight rooms normally?
Sure. I mean, we're used to working out of a room that has pretty much everything that we need. So, you know, the first thing we had to kind of come together as a group, with the staff is figure out, what do we really think that our athletes have available to them? What are the things we can do? And let's get everybody on the same page right away. So that was the biggest thing. And that really took the first few weeks of us just getting together, a group meeting as often as we can, to just kind of figure out what those things and we could address, that our athletes are kind of used to, but still in the whole don't have all the access to the equipment that we had. So we really attacked that first, and then we've now, as we're starting to get into it here this last few weeks, to really start to focus on what can we do for the foreseeable future. What are things going to look like for us in the upcoming months, getting ready for the seasons and preparing there. And so those talks are starting to happen now as we start to navigate towards, what would normally actually would be our summer training packets or our summer training programs right after finals happen. So we look at like May 11th being a start date for that. So we're starting to try to navigate towards, getting into that group, which is kind of normal for our athletes. So that's where our ultimate goal is right now.
And obviously technology, I mean, this has become such a big part of all of our jobs right now in this current environment, whether we want it to be or not. So, I mean, strength and conditioning normally, not to say that you guys are not using technology, but it's such a different side of things. It's physical, it's tactile. How are you using tech now to make all this happen?
Yeah, we've actually kind of attacked everything from different angles. The hardest part was as the NCAA put out some new rules and kind of trying to keep up with those. But we've been using this Zoom a lot, just first to have contact with our athletes on a face-to-face basis. And then what we really did was utilizing social media to kind of put out our workouts. We're utilizing now, we just are implementing a mobile app, Team Builder. And what that allows us to do is it basically put our paper workouts into a mobile arena, and it'll provide our athletes, whether they're on their laptop, a tablet, iPhones, whatever it may be, access to their workouts. And with that, we'll have, everything that we want them to do. They're supported by videos, things like that, that they can kind of go through. They'll be able to interact with us, so send us notes if they have questions. We can kind of interact with them, just kind of give them highlights or things that we can kind of do there. So that element has been really, really crucial for us to kind of get our athletes wherever they may be, our workouts. And then the other things that we are implementing is just trying to be creative. I put out there a workout that's kind of a mobility stability workout for us. I use Zoom. I recorded myself. It was kind of a follow along. So it was like, I was talking to some of the other, I don't know if our athletes kind of get this reference, but on the Jane Fonda right now of our staff, where I'm going to go ahead and put together these workouts that you can work out with us and kind of go at the pace that I'm taking you through like normally would in the weight room. So, our idea is keep putting that out there and see if our athletes can respond to that, and giving them an opportunity not only to, get the work in, but, having that interaction with our staff. Because I think that's something that, we kind of touched upon with our athletes as we go through this, that they kind of value too, being able to have that interaction with us and just seeing us day to day. And something obviously that is a big part of why we're involved with this, is being able to have that interaction with our athletes. So it's a positive on both ends for us.
I'm setting the over-under out of 400 student athletes at 4 that got that Jane Fonda reference, but I appreciate it. That conjures quite an image.
Billy Blanks, if we want to go up, or P90X, Insanity, all those ones that are flowing out there.
Well, one of the things that we've talked about with everybody here is obviously getting ready for the return, right? And we don't know what that date's going to be, but we all need to be prepared for it. And in a lot of ways, your area is one that's going to be at the front line, right? Because all the work that you're doing still can't guarantee that you're able to replicate exactly the kind of conditioning that you want athletes to be in. So as you and your staff are talking about what that hypothetical is going to look like, when student athletes get back on campus, obviously I'm sure most are taking this very seriously, doing everything they can. There might be some that maybe you're not able to get a full 100% out of when they're, at home, given their current situation. So what does that look like to get everyone back to a level playing field, what you want them to be, and say, okay, we're ready to compete the way that we want to in the fall?
Yeah, I think we got to be really smart about how we do this. I think, like I mentioned, we do normally have a break, with summer, where some of our athletes are still around, but many of our athletes aren't. And we have to figure out how to get them ready to compete. A lot of our fall sports, even when they come back and they're starting with preseason, they may have been gone for 12 weeks without us. Now they be able to be getting into gyms and access and do the things we want them to do during that time. So this will be a little bit different. And the other thing is how much longer they're going to be away from us. So we really got to consider all those factors, and we got to be smart. We got to make sure we put our egos aside as far as, wanting to get with them and push them right away, and make sure that we acclimate them. I think that's the biggest thing is, really evaluating where they are when they come back. I think that's going to be a big part of it, is just kind of the evaluation process to see where they actually are with things that we know, and we've kind of always test and year-round test them on, and are aware of what they're capable of. So just seeing where they are in relation to that, and then having a smart plan to be able to build them to where they need to be. So whether it's prepared for preseason, or if our spring sports, get them prepared for that fall season that they got coming up, and just really make sure that we're taking smart steps along the way, so that we do make sure that they're prepared for whatever our sports coaches want out of them. But also communicating with our coaches, communicating with our athletes, our athletic training staff, and just make sure we're all on the same page. That would be the key to the beginning of this. It's almost, I talked with somebody the other day, it's like having a soft opening. It's kind of how we're going to have to approach it, before the full-fledged group comes back. So hopefully we have that opportunity and we'll be prepared for it.
Oh, Tim, I know you're looking forward to that day. We are as well. But in the meantime, appreciate you taking some time out to chat with us here.
Appreciate you, Kevin. Have a great day.
That's Tim Teefy. I'm Kevin Kopp. Thanks so much for watching.